I'm Sophia.
And I'm Jake. And today's topic is something that almost everyone experiences at some point in life.
Something that affects confidence, happiness, motivation, and even relationships.
Something many people do without even realizing it.
Because today we're talking about comparison.
More specifically, talking about why we compare ourselves to others.
And before we begin, let's start with a simple question.
Have you ever looked at someone else's life and thought,
They're doing better than me.
they're more successful than me?
They're happier than me.
Or maybe,
Why can't I be more like them?
if you've ever had thoughts like these, you're definitely not alone.
In fact, comparison might be one of the most common human experiences,
Especially in modern life.
and especially in the age of social media.
In today's episode, we'll talk about comparison, self-worth, confidence, social media, success, insecurity, happiness, and how people can develop a healthier relationship with themselves.
We'll also practice calm and natural English conversation together while learning useful vocabulary, emotional expressions, and real-life English sentence patterns.
So, if you want to improve your English while exploring an important life topic, you're in the right place.
And if you enjoy these kinds of thoughtful English conversations, please subscribe to Chill English channel. Subscribing helps us continue creating peaceful and meaningful English lessons for learners around the world.
All right, Sophia.
Let's begin. Why do you think people compare themselves to others so much?
Honestly, I think comparison is part of human nature.
Really?
Yes.
How so?
Well, humans naturally observe other people.
That's true.
We notice how others live,
What they have,
what they achieve,
how they look.
how they behave.
It's almost automatic.
Exactly.
But I think modern life has made comparison much stronger.
Definitely.
100 years ago, people mostly compared themselves to neighbors, friends, or people in their community.
But today, we compare ourselves to thousands of people online every day.
People we don't even know.
Celebrities,
Influencers,
entrepreneurs,
athletes,
content creators.
and sometimes even complete strangers.
That's actually a huge change psychologically.
Another thing is that social media often shows the highlights of people's lives.
Yes, the highlight reel.
That's a very useful expression.
A highlight reel means showing only the best moments while hiding the difficult parts.
For example, social media often shows a highlight reel instead of reality.
Or we compare our everyday lives to other people's highlight reels.
That's honestly such a powerful sentence.
Because it's true.
People post vacations,
Achievements,
promotions,
relationships.
success stories,
But they rarely post loneliness,
failure,
anxiety,
self-doubt,
or difficult days.
which creates an unrealistic picture of life.
Unrealistic is an important vocabulary word.
Unrealistic means not reflecting reality accurately.
For example, it's unrealistic to expect life to be perfect.
Or social media can create unrealistic expectations.
Let me ask our listeners something.
Good idea.
Have you ever felt worse about your own life after scrolling through social media?
Maybe after seeing someone else's success?
Someone else's relationship?
Someone else's lifestyle?
If yes, you're definitely not the only one.
Comparison affects almost everyone sometimes.
Another thing I find interesting is that comparison often steals joy.
That's very true.
People can be completely happy with their progress.
Until they compare it to someone else's.
Then suddenly what felt good no longer feels enough.
That's honestly kind of sad.
It is.
Because comparison changes perspective.
Perspective is such an important word.
Perspective means the way someone views or understands something.
For example, comparison can distort your perspective.
Or a healthy perspective improves happiness.
Another thing people compare is timelines.
Oh yes, that's a big one.
People compare careers,
Relationships,
income,
education,
achievements,
and age.
especially age.
People often think, I should already have a better job.
I should already own a house.
I should already be successful.
I should already know what I'm doing with my life.
That word should creates a lot of pressure.
Definitely.
And many of those expectations come from comparison.
Not reality.
Another thing comparison creates is insecurity.
Yes.
Insecurity often grows when people constantly focus on what they lack.
Instead of appreciating what they already have.
That's a very important distinction.
Distinction is a useful vocabulary word.
Distinction means an important difference between two things.
For example, there is an important distinction between inspiration and comparison.
That's actually interesting.
Because comparison and inspiration are not the same thing.
Explain that.
Well, inspiration motivates you.
While comparison often discourages you.
Exactly.
Inspiration says, if they can do it, maybe I can too.
But comparison says, they're better than me.
That's such a huge difference emotionally.
And one creates hope.
While the other creates self-doubt.
Self-doubt is another important emotional word.
Self-doubt means lacking confidence in your own abilities or value.
For example, constant comparison can create self-doubt.
Or self-doubt often grows when people compare themselves excessively.
Another thing many people don't realize is that everyone is fighting battles we cannot see.
That's such an important reminder.
We often compare our full reality
To someone else's visible success, but we don't know their private struggles,
their fears,
their stress,
their failures.
their sacrifices.
We only see a small piece of their story.
And sometimes we build entire assumptions from that small piece.
Let me ask another question.
Go ahead.
Have you ever compared yourself to someone and later discovered their life wasn't as perfect as it seemed?
Honestly, I think that happens a lot.
Me too, which teaches us something important.
What's that?
Appearances are often incomplete.
That's beautifully said.
Another thing comparison affects is gratitude.
Definitely.
Because when people constantly focus on what others have,
They stop noticing what they already have.
and gratitude becomes much harder.
Gratitude is such a powerful concept.
It really is.
And maybe one of the biggest problems with comparison is that it constantly moves the finish line.
Exactly.
No matter how much progress someone makes,
There will always be someone richer,
more successful,
more attractive,
more experienced,
more accomplished.
which means comparison can become endless if we let it. One thing I find fascinating about comparison is that it often happens automatically.
Definitely.
Most people don't wake up and decide to compare themselves to others,
It just happens naturally.
especially when we're scrolling through social media
Or talking with friends.
or attending family gatherings.
Family gatherings can be dangerous for comparison.
That's true.
Someone always asks, "So, what are you doing now?"
Or, when are you getting married?
Or, "When are you buying a house?"
And suddenly people start comparing their lives to everyone else's.
Comparison often becomes strongest when people feel uncertain about themselves.
That's a really interesting point.
Because confident people still compare sometimes.
But insecure people often compare constantly.
Insecurity acts like a magnifying glass.
Magnifying glass is a wonderful metaphor.
It makes differences appear much bigger than they really are.
For example, someone might see a friend's success and immediately think,
They're so far ahead of me.
even when that's not actually true.
Another thing comparison affects is self-worth.
Self-worth is such an important concept.
Self-worth means the value you place on yourself as a person.
The problem is that many people tie their self-worth to external achievements,
Their job,
their salary,
their appearance,
their relationship status,
their social status.
which creates a dangerous cycle.
Because those things are always changing.
Exactly.
If self-worth depends on external things, confidence becomes unstable.
That's honestly a powerful lesson.
Let me ask our listeners something.
Go ahead.
Have you ever felt proud of yourself?
Until you saw someone doing better?
Maybe learning English faster?
Maybe earning more money.
Maybe achieving something you wanted?
If that has happened to you, you're definitely not alone.
It happens to almost everyone.
Another thing people compare is appearance.
especially today.
Social media created impossible beauty standards for many people.
Filters,
Editing,
perfect lighting,
perfect angles,
perfect moments.
which makes ordinary human appearance seem inadequate sometimes.
Inadequate is an important emotional word.
Inadequate means feeling not good enough or insufficient.
For example, comparison can make people feel inadequate.
Or social media sometimes creates feelings of inadequacy.
But the truth is that most people don't look perfect.
And honestly, nobody does all the time.
Another thing comparison steals is peace of mind.
Definitely.
Because when people constantly compare themselves,
Their minds rarely rest,
they keep measuring,
evaluating,
judging,
competing.
even when nobody else is competing.
That's actually very true.
Sometimes the competition exists only inside our own minds.
Another interesting thing is that comparison often focuses on one area of life.
Explain that.
Well, someone might compare their career to another person's career.
While ignoring everything else.
Exactly.
They see one successful area,
And assume the entire life is perfect.
which is rarely true.
Every person has strengths and struggles.
Every person.
Nobody succeeds in every area simultaneously.
That's such an important reminder.
Another thing many people discover as they get older is that life isn't a race.
Ah, yes, that's a lesson many adults learn eventually.
Everyone's timeline is different.
Some people find success early.
Others later.
Some people find love young.
Others much later.
Some people change careers at 40,
Or 50.
or even 60,
Which means comparing timelines often doesn't make sense.
because people start from different situations,
Different opportunities.
different backgrounds,
Different challenges.
different goals.
Let's teach our listeners a useful sentence pattern.
Good idea.
One useful pattern is, I used to compare myself to blank.
For example, I used to compare myself to my coworkers.
Or, I used to compare myself to people online.
Native speakers use this pattern naturally when talking about personal growth.
Another important realization is that comparison often hides gratitude.
Definitely.
When people focus constantly on what they lack,
They stop noticing what they already have,
their progress,
their strengths,
their experiences.
their opportunities.
Gratitude and comparison often move in opposite directions.
That's beautifully said.
The more grateful people become,
The less comparison tends to control them.
another thing many people realize is that they compare their behind-the-scenes life to someone else's public image.
That's one of the biggest traps.
Because we know all our own fears,
All our mistakes,
all our failures,
all our insecurities.
but we don't know those things about other people.
We only see what they choose to show.
And actually, think about this for a moment.
How much of your life do other people truly see?
Probably very little.
Which means the same is true for them.
That's such a powerful perspective shift.
Another thing comparison affects is happiness itself.
Definitely.
People often postpone happiness,
Waiting until they achieve something.
waiting until they earn more,
Waiting until they look different.
waiting until they reach someone else's level.
But happiness constantly moves further away when comparison is controlling the journey.
Another thing I learned personally is that there will always be someone ahead of you.
Always.
But there will also always be someone inspired by your progress.
That's a beautiful thought.
We rarely notice how far we've already come.
Because we're too busy looking at people ahead of us.
Another thing I want to ask our listeners is this:
What do you compare yourself to most often?
career,
Money?
appearance,
Relationships?
English level?
You can think about your answer while we continue.
Because maybe the first step toward overcoming comparison is becoming aware of where it appears in your own life.
Now that we've talked about comparison, self-worth, social media, confidence, and gratitude, let's focus on something important.
Yes,
Let's talk about how people can stop comparing themselves so much and build a healthier relationship with themselves.
Because comparison is natural.
Definitely.
We probably can't eliminate it completely.
But we can learn how to manage it better.
Exactly.
One of the biggest lessons people learn is that comparison often focuses attention in the wrong direction.
What do you mean?
Well, comparison usually makes us look outward constantly.
At other people,
Their lives,
their achievements.
their progress.
But growth often happens when people start looking inward instead.
Inward is a great word.
Yes, inward means focusing on yourself rather than external things.
For example, personal growth often requires inward reflection.
Or, looking inward can improve self-awareness.
Another thing that helps is measuring progress against your past self.
Ah, yes, that's a powerful mindset shift.
Instead of asking, "Am I better than them?"
Ask, am I growing compared to who I was 6 months ago?
or 1 year ago.
Or even 1 month ago?
That's a much healthier comparison.
Because it focuses on growth instead of competition.
Let's teach our listeners a useful sentence pattern.
Good idea.
One useful pattern is, "I'm making progress by blank."
For example, I'm making progress by practicing English every day.
Or, "I'm making progress by becoming more confident."
Native speakers use this pattern naturally when talking about self-improvement.
Another thing that people realize is that success looks different for everyone.
Definitely.
Modern culture often creates one definition of success:
Money.
status,
Achievement.
recognition.
But many people eventually discover that their personal definition is different.
Some people value peace.
Others value freedom.
Others value family.
Others value creativity.
Which means comparing life paths often makes very little sense.
Because people are often trying to reach completely different destinations.
That's such an important point.
Another thing that helps reduce comparison is gratitude.
Definitely.
Gratitude changes attention.
Instead of focusing on what's missing,
People begin noticing what's already present.
their health,
Their relationships.
their opportunities,
Their growth.
their experiences.
Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring goals.
Exactly.
It simply means appreciating the present while still moving forward.
That's a very healthy balance.
Another important lesson is that everyone has struggles.
Every single person.
Even the people we admire.
Even the people who seem successful.
Even the people who seem confident.
Everyone experiences challenges we cannot see.
Fear.
Doubt,
Stress.
failure.
Disappointment.
Human struggles are universal.
We just don't always see them.
And actually, pause for a moment and think about this.
Is there someone you've been comparing yourself to recently?
Someone whose life seems better than yours,
More successful?
more exciting.
More complete?
Now ask yourself,
How much of their real life do you actually know?
probably much less than you think.
That question alone can completely change perspective.
Another thing comparison often steals is self-acceptance.
Definitely.
People become so focused on becoming someone else.
That they stop appreciating who they already are.
Their strengths,
Their personality.
their unique experiences.
Their journey.
Self-acceptance is such an important part of emotional health.
Self-acceptance means recognizing your value without needing to be perfect.
For example, self-acceptance helped me become more confident.
Or, I'm learning to accept myself more.
Another thing that helped me personally was limiting comparison triggers.
That's practical advice.
Sometimes people spend hours consuming content that makes them feel inadequate.
Social media.
Constant comparison,
Endless scrolling.
which can quietly damage confidence over time.
Being intentional about what we consume matters.
Intentional is another excellent vocabulary word.
Intentional means done consciously and with purpose.
For example, I'm trying to be more intentional with social media.
Or intentional habits improve mental health.
Another thing people learn is that progress is rarely linear.
That's very true.
Some months are amazing.
Some months feel slow.
Some periods feel productive.
Others feel difficult.
Life naturally moves in cycles.
which means comparing yourself at one moment to someone else at a completely different moment is often unfair.
Another thing I love about personal growth is that it eventually becomes less about proving something.
And more about becoming someone.
Exactly.
Less about impressing people.
More about living according to your values.
Less about competition.
More about growth.
Less about comparison.
More about purpose.
That's honestly such a peaceful way to approach life.
Another thing people slowly realize is this.
Someone else's success does not reduce your potential.
That's a beautiful lesson.
Another person's achievement is not proof of your failure.
Another person's progress is not evidence that you're falling behind.
There is enough room for many people to succeed.
Success is not a limited resource.
Let's teach one final useful sentence pattern.
The pattern is, I'm learning to focus on blank.
For example, I'm learning to focus on my own progress.
Or, I'm learning to focus on what I can control.
Those sentences sound natural and positive in English.
Let's do a little speaking practice.
If possible, try answering these questions out loud.
First question, why do people compare themselves to others?
Second question, how does social media affect comparison?
Third question, what is the difference between comparison and inspiration?
Fourth question, how can gratitude reduce comparison?
Fifth question, what helps you focus on your own journey?
Try using the sentence patterns we practiced today.
For example, I used to compare myself to blank.
Or, I'm making progress by blank.
Or, I'm learning to focus on blank.
Speaking out loud helps emotional English become more natural and fluent.
And conversations about confidence, happiness, and self-growth are excellent for improving real communication skills in English.
Before we finish, let's quickly review what we talked about today.
We discussed comparison, social media, self-worth, insecurity, gratitude, confidence, and personal growth.
We also talked about perspective, self-acceptance, success, inspiration, and emotional well-being.
We learned useful emotional vocabulary and natural English sentence patterns related to comparison and confidence.
Most importantly, we talked about something that affects almost everyone.
Comparing ourselves to others.
And maybe one of the biggest lessons is this.
Your journey does not need to look like someone else's journey.
Your timeline is your own.
Your progress matters.
Your growth matters.
And your value does not decrease simply because someone else is succeeding.
Now it's time for our question of the day.
What do you compare yourself to most often?
Career?
Money?
Appearance?
Relationships?
Or something else?
Write your answer in the comments.
You can begin your sentence like this.
I often compare myself to blank.
We always enjoy reading your answers.
It's a wonderful way to practice your English writing skills.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, and subscribe to Chill English channel.
Subscribing helps us continue creating calm and meaningful English lessons for learners around the world.
Keep practicing a little every day.
And remember, learning English is a journey.
Goodbye, everyone.
See you next time.